Hey everyone, welcome back to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. Today's date is the 17th of May, 2025. In this video, we have three different topics we're going to tackle. We're going to be looking at the U.S. Mint's presidential silver medals. We're going to be headed over to coinnews.net to check out an article about the circulation strikes there at the United States Mint. And then finally, over to Numismatic News, there's an article by Richard D. Droyich about the nickel. But before any of that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach a bazillion subs. It's a really big number. Not sure exactly how big it is, but I looked it up. It's ginormous, but it doesn't have an exact number. It's the weirdest thing. I don't even know what to think. Now, let's keep on keeping on. Over here to moneymetals.com. Gold ended the week at $32.1675. Silver at $32.50. Platinum at $1,009.75. And palladium at $995.15. And Dr. Copper ended the week at $4.59 a pound. Down here, you're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $6.59. That's been moving around somewhat lately. For a quantity 1 through 39, they got you paying $39.09. And I think really that's the magic number. They want to keep it, it seems, at $39. Okay, so keep on keeping on. The sell to them price, the buyback is $33.70. $33.70 is $1.20 more than the silver spot or ask price. There you go. Next up, the United States Mint's bullion sales, and this just got a little bit more tricky. Was checking into comparing and contrasting some of the numbers right here. And I'll just go ahead and hit reload. That way you can see what I'm dealing with here. Now, we're about bullion sales. Right here, we're going to select the program. It's American Eagle program, thank goodness. Sales totals by month or year dated. Well, if we go year dated, it ends at 2016. There you go, right there. So we have to actually go to sales totals by month. And then you select what? Select a year, and all that other data has been memory hold. It's gonzo. Years and years, hundreds of months of data is just gone. Wow. Okay. So that's that. And not only that, check this out. The United States Mint still has a typo on those 1 ounce. Because check it out. Those would not. Okay, look. 1 ounce silver ounces sold. Yeah. Okay, 100,000. But how many coins is that? Well, it's 10,000. No, it's 100,000. So there's a typo there. There's something going on over here, and nobody asked for that. They just do it on their own, I guess. Now, let's keep on keeping on. I don't know what's going on at the United States Mint. It's a head scratcher. Now, what's also head scratchers, check this out. I'm over here at home, shop by theme, presidential, right under silver. That's the metal type right there. And one of these doesn't look like the rest. And this one here, this William McKinley presidential silver medal just dropped just, I think, a couple of days ago. And I had to see this one. I had to show it to you. I had to do a little show and tell this morning because I really dig the reverse of this one. And, I do like the reverse of the presidential silver medals. As you can see, that's the peace and friendship one from Thomas Jefferson. But first things first, before I show you this one, let me show you all of these, right? There's 26 of them. All right. And they are 3 at a time. And this one just reminds me of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland or Walt Disney World. I got to tell you. It's a grim, grinning ghost. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'll keep on keeping on. One of them doesn't look like the rest, right? So look at the way these, some of them have clothes on. Some of them don't, right? Some of them show a shoulder. Some of them don't. All right. Look at it. See? All right. Look at that. 2 Teddy Roosevelts right there. Presidential subscription, silver medal, because that's the way it is. It's not out yet, but it is coming out. There's George Washington, Benjamin Harrison, Grover Cleveland, Thomas Jefferson. That's the reverse I really like. And then let's keep on keeping on. You got Ulysses Grant, Rutherford B. What is this guy doing? He's looking right at my sandwich. And I'm not sure why. Everybody else is facing to the right or to the left, and he's looking right at me. And it's kind of creepy, I got to tell you. And it's the only one like that. And here's the reverse of it. It says inaugurated, President of the United States, March 4, 1841, and died April 4, 1840. Wow, not much of a term, is it? Yeah, not much. But look at the reverse here. So you got the looks like oak branch, right? Or not oak, olive branches, right? And that symbolizes all kinds of cool stuff. And there's the one I really dig. That's the Thomas Jefferson presidential silver medal. I really dig the reverse of that because it really isn't like some kind of long, lengthy, like something like this, right? Inaugurated President of the United States, March 4, 1889. Thank you very much. It's nothing like that. It's actually a thing of beauty and has a beautiful message, peace and friendship. Isn't that something? Well, look at this one that just came out. This is the William McKinley Presidential Silver Medal. And I got to tell you, look at that. What? Yeah, that is quite something. Let me go ahead and open that image and a new tab there. That is gorgeous, you guys. I love this. This is remarkable. Look at the wreath there, and it's got just an amazing And I got to tell you, when a coin or a metal is so amazing like this, and you read it, and you're like, hey, wow, two terms, assassinated September 6th, died September 14, 1901. You're like, wait, what? And it kind of makes you question what was going on. And that's William McKinley. Yeah, he was, regrettably, he was shot by an anarchist, all right, during a public event. And it was really incredible because his doctor he was, you just got to read this. It's so much quality history here. And he was one of our greatest presidents, no doubt about it. Really, I'll leave a link in the description for this. But, I got to wonder why the United States Mint doesn't put the reverse of these particular medals. Well, how come they don't display them on here, right? And I think that would gain a whole lot more attention than they do while just putting the obverse, because really it's a two-sided deal. And if you want to count the third side, that's fine. But really, the design aspects are the obverse and the reverse. And why they don't show the reverse, I don't know. But I imagine they could drum up some more sales just because of that. And I do really like that one. Now let's keep on keeping on. This is coinnews.net. Article by Mike Unser, dated May 16, 2025. We talked a little bit about this. Title of this article is U.S. Mint April production falls to 578.76 million coins, but it outpaces last year. And remember, last year, 2024, was some of the lowest production circulating coins at the United States Mint in, well, I think since 2009 or 10. It was a good bit of time, right? So quite some time, but we're outpacing last year already. And that says what? Well, that this is not going to be the year of the 2024 Jefferson nickel from Philadelphia and Denver. However, I do think that the United States Mint is winding down their production of Lincoln cents and will eventually, they'll turn the eye of Sauron, so to speak, over to that Jefferson nickel, because it costs way more to produce that one, that little bad boy. It's a fat little coin in it, compared to yes, that's right, the Lincoln cent, or the Zinken cent, right? So it says here, during the month, the Mint, let's just go ahead and say here, start from the tip top. Take it from the top. United States Mint monthly coin production has been fluctuating between 500 million and upper 600 million range in recent months, with April's total returning to the lower end. That's the lower end there at 500 million. April also marked the 20th consecutive month with output below 1 billion coins. Yeah, the Mint isn't going gonzo anymore because people aren't spending as many coins as they used to, because they're using digital payments, debit cards, and that sort of thing. A streak that underscores how much production has slowed compared to earlier periods when monthly totals routinely exceeded that level of billions and billions of coins, like Carl Sagan would say. Notably, the Mint had logged 8 straight months above 1 billion just before the current trend began. During the month, the Mint struck 500 million coins for circulation, including cents, nickels, dimes, and quarters. The total represents a 13.7% decline from March. However, it's a 57, almost 60% increase compared to April of 2024. And I believe April was the last month that the United States Mint struck any of the 2024 Jefferson coins. Now, dime production was particularly strong at 187 million coins, the highest monthly output since August of 2023, when 252 million were produced. And I think there's a reason for that. That's probably going to get them the most seigniorage, because, I mean, look at that little tiny little dime. You can miss it. You might, if it's dirty, you might think it's a penny, right? So you get 10 cents for that. How much does it take to make that one? I don't know. But then again, wouldn't they make even more money on those Kennedy half dollars, even though they use more metal? Interesting. Now, here we go. This is April 2024 to April 2025 circulating coin production. As you can see here, we're almost right there in the middle with 578.76 million coins produced for the month of April. And then they said, remember, April of 2024, yeah, that was the 11th highest out of the 13 months at 368.2 million coins struck. That's amazing. Now let's keep on keeping on here. Although overall coin production is up year over year, Lincoln cent output totaled 1.06 billion through the first 5 months of 2025. And that's actually, it seems like a lot, but it's down 13.2% from the 1.22 billion made during the same period of 2024, which means the United States Mint is losing less money, right? Look at this, 13.2% less. And then it gets even more profound if you look at here. Month-over-month comparisons for coins commonly used by Americans. April production saw Look at this, 58, almost 60% fewer Lincoln cents, 4.7, almost 5% fewer quarters. But look at that, almost 100% more Roosevelt dimes. That is remarkable. And then almost 27% more Jefferson nickels. And like I said, that Jefferson nickel, they're losing a whole lot of money on that bad boy. Mintage of Native American dollars, that's not what we're looking at here. Also, it remains unclear whether any 2025 Kennedy half dollars will be released into general circulation. You know, the NIFC, not intended for circulation, Kennedy half dollars. Well, that really didn't pan out for the last few years as they were intended for circulation. The Federal Reserve has been ordering them and putting them out there into the wild. However, they may be right about this. They may not be. However, because check it out. I looked on eBay right here for 2025 Kennedy half dollar OBW original bank wrap rolls or boxes. I got bupkis. I got nada. Look at this. Now there's some unsearched stuff, but that doesn't guarantee that it is from 2025. And there's some from 2025, but not sure if it is the mint wrapped or mint, ones, or actually from a bank. And since we don't see anything from a bank, well, there's 2024, 2024. That's what we would expect to see, rolls like that in non-mint wrap rolls. So not seeing it. However, our friend Mickey Minsky says that one of his contacts is able to get I think the Philadelphia Kennedy half dollars in boxes and rolls and boxes, not from the mint, but from local banks, but not the Denver strikes, which is really interesting. All right. That's something to talk about here. And let's keep on keeping on here. In January, production totals stood at 3.6 million coins from Denver Mint and 5.8 million from Philadelphia Mint. That's interesting. 4 and then 6, right? February added another 2 million from Denver, while March contributed 2.4 million for the Philadelphia Mint, with no reported changes. In April, the year-to-date total now stands at 13.8 million coins for the Kennedy half dollars from 2025. All right, that's amazing. By comparison, 2024 saw significantly higher production with 21.9 million, almost 22 million half dollars struck in Denver and 15.7 million struck in Philadelphia for a combined total of 37.6 million coins. That's way more than the 13.8 that we're seeing now. That's incredible. That's something to talk about. That's Native American dollars. U.S. Mint circulating coin production of April 2025. This is the story here, folks. It's the Lincoln cent. Only struck 74 million at Denver, almost 75, and then 62 at Philadelphia for a total of 137.2 million. Lincoln cents struck for the month of April, and typically what we see is 150 to 200 million coins struck from Philadelphia and 200 million struck from Denver. This is definitely winding down. I don't know what May production is going to look like, but if this trend, because 1 month a trend does not make. However, if we see this number from Denver and Philadelphia going down to 30 or 20 million or even 0, I think that might be the indicator, the sore thumb, the red thumb that we're looking for, to give us the indication of what's going on here. All right. In April, Denver Mint struck 298.74 million coins, almost 300 million coins, while the Philadelphia Mint struck 280 million for a combined monthly total of 578.6 or 76 million coins. That's amazing. But look at this. They are ramping down. 1.2 billion coins from Philadelphia, 1.2 billion coins from Denver, bringing the total to 2.4 billion coins. That's 17.3% more than the 2.1 produced during the same period in 2024. They're definitely ramping it up. And here's the problem with that. Because next year is going to be 2026, do they really want all this circulating coin out there while the 2026 semicentennial wants to be celebrated next year and not in 2027? At least that's what I would like to see. Because I haven't seen I just got an anime Wong quarter the other day in circulation, my first one ever. So I think the Mint's going to definitely have to, I don't want to say starve, or at least not get as many coins out in circulation. So I would think from maybe June until the rest of this year, I don't know that the Mint makes more circulation strikes. I think this is going to be it. That's just a theory. I don't have any evidence, but that's just what I'm feeling on this one. All right. I don't hope it's not gas. And now it says here, if the current production pace continues through December of 2025, annual mintage with near 7.4 billion coins. That's if the current production rate continues at this rate. And like I just said, I don't think it's gonna. I think the mainstay, the majority of the coins, particularly the quarters and the half dollars, that's it. I think that's all. For comparison, the U.S. Mint produced just over 5.6 billion coins for circulation in 2024, marking the lowest output since 2009. So I think that gets a little bit more credibility to my argument that the United States already produced 7.4 billion coins for circulation in 2025. And last year, they only needed 5.6 billion. So they could turn the machines off right now and be cool for the rest of the year. And that would make the demand, hopefully, for these quarters for 2026 well, that would make them available to the general public. I tell you, this is amazing. This is the quarter mintages. Oh, this is really cool, actually, and I'm really happy that they've done this. I got to show you. It's a table of the American women quarter mintages. Voila. I love it. So this is from 2022 to 2025 American women quarter mintages. I think the one thing that's regrettable on this particular table is that, well, it doesn't have the San Francisco business strike mintages. That's a wah-wah. But then again, is it these guys over here at coinnews.net, or is it the United States Mint doesn't really have those figures available on their website for circulating coins, right? So they don't really have that on there. You'd actually have to go in and look at each individual product and then do the math from there. It's kind of labor intensive if you think about it. There's so many. But then again, they don't show them. But let's go ahead and go over what they just said here. In addition to the 2025 Native American dollar with its one-year-only design, the U.S. Mint through April has also released the first two of its 5 issuances for 2025 from its 4-year American Women Quarters program. These coins are the 16th and 17th overall in the series, each featuring a unique reverse design. In 2020, the 2025 Ida B. Wells quarter, the first of the year, entered circulation in February, with the Mint offering rolls and bags of the coin to the public beginning on February 4. Mintage totals remain unchanged in April, suggesting no further production. That's for the circulation strikes, right? Not the ones you can buy from the Mint. As it stands, the coin's total mintage is 205 million, 99 million from Denver, and 106 million from Philadelphia. If these figures hold, the 2025 D and P Wells quarters would represent the lowest and second lowest mintages in this series to date, respectively. Yes, that's awesome. Now, here we go. The second quarter design of the year, honoring Julia Gordon Low, entered circulation in March. Rolls and bags went on sale March 25th. Production to date has reached 130.2 million from Denver and 196.6 million from Philadelphia, for a combined total of 326.8 million coins. Here we go with that. What they're not saying is with that, that would be the third and fourth, I think, lowest of the series. Maybe third and fifth, but it's definitely up there, down there with the lowest, not up there. Well, it could be up there. Finally, it appears the production began in April for the third 2025 design, featuring Dr. Vera Rubin, my favorite of the year so far. Schedule, well, actually, of all the designs, but you got to see them in person. It doesn't do it justice looking at the pictures from the Mint's website. You see them in hand in the proof set or the circulation strikes. It is gorgeous. Scheduled for release in early June. That's right. We already have a date, right? The Mint's production report by quarter design currently shows a total of 2.2 million coins. For clarity, that figure has not yet reflected the Mint's overall circulating coin production summary. That's right. The final table shows all American quarter dollar mintages by production facility, denomination, and design. Look at that. So yeah, there we go. Dr. Mary Edwards Walker at 141, 149. Those are some of the lowest there. And then we have 106 from Ida Wells, 196 here. Definitely not the lowest, but one of the lowest. But look at this, 99. Can't touch this. Not even close. That's remarkable. That is something else, folks. Now let's wrap it up with that last article from Numismatic News. This is Richard Gidroyich. Title of the article is The Nickel Next to Go. And folks, I 100% think that the nickel is next to go. And I don't think we need to worry about having, maybe boxes, that's one thing, and rolls is another thing. But to just get onesie twosies of this particular coin or the Lincoln cent once it goes, we still, I believe, will find these in the uncirculated sets, in the proof sets, and so on and so forth. I think that numismatists will be rewarded before anybody by getting these Lincoln cents and Jefferson nickels once they're gone. So, all right, here we go. With each nickel costing nearly 14 cents to produce, the Treasury considers material changes to reduce expenses without eliminating the coin. And why couldn't they do that to the Lincoln cent, right? Because they've already been studying metal composition changes. Look at that. Look at those bad boys. You ever get a Black Beauty? Those are awesome. Now, President Donald Trump has decided that due to the cost of minting our 1-cent coins, production of the denomination should be stopped. It now appears the 5-cent or nickel coin may be next. In a recent House Appropriations Committee hearing, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, here we go again. Are we going to see this FOMO, this frenzy on eBay? Well, I haven't seen it yet, but this information needs to get out there. Now, he said that the nickel costs more than a nickel to produce. Yeah, no kidding. Almost 3 nickels to produce. But we are looking at a material changes in the materials that would reduce the cost to or below a nickel. What? It's like 25% nickel, 75% copper. And remember, folks, those are strategic metals. They have been deemed so by the European Union maybe just a year or two ago. And not only that, look, you ever heard of the green movement? Those are really big in the green movement. And once they move out of the green movement using electric vehicles, they'll probably move over to hydrogen. And that's when nickel is going to be even more, necessary. It's just incredible. We are in the cusp of the most amazing changes in technology. And these metals are going to be a big part of it. Really is. It says here the cent's metal composition changed in 1982. That's right. The Treasury Secretary suggests that rather than dumping the nickel, changing its metal composition might make sense. The purity of the silver in our dimes, quarters and half dollars, was altered several times before the composition of each of these denominations became copper nickel as we know it. Remember 1965? That was the first year of the cupro nickel action. Before that, they had silver, 90% silver, and then our currency was debased. You know what I mean? Like, the value is gone. There's no more real intrinsic value, right? Intrinsic, meaning, anyway. I tell you, it's an interesting history the United States coins have, and think about it now. So we debased the currency in 1965, right? Went from silver, 90% silver, to cupro nickel, like I said, 25% nickel and 75% copper. Well, guess what? Like I said, those are strategic metals. They're kind of a big deal, and they're probably going to get more expensive. Are they a base metal? Are they a precious metal? I think they should be recategorized because, look, you can't function without nickel. It's just one of those things. And it's become so valuable that they're going to debase it again, even though it's just copper and nickel. Think about that. That's how valuable copper and nickel are. Think about that. I'm telling you. Circulation, strike gold coins issued in 1933 are 90%, right? While modern gold coins have a purity of 91.67 fine. That's 22 carats because it's got some silver and copper in there, I believe. Granted, modern coins are primarily bullion or commemorative, but change happens. So why not alter the metal content of the nickel? And what would they call it? Would they call it steel? Because it's not going to be nickel anymore. The composition of our 5-cent coin changed several times when it was half dime, and then again during World War II, when it was replaced. The half dime was already nicknamed the nickel. World War II, they had a silver nickel, right? You've seen the mint markets right over Monticello. It's ginormous. There's San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Denver. Why can't we have a silver nickel again in our silver proof sets, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Or the limited edition silver proof sets. Not that I'm asking for a silver nickel in circulation. Could you imagine if they put silver in circulation? It would be gone so quick. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there'd be coin roll hunting channels open up left and right. The bottom line still appears to be that the denomination is still needed. Otherwise, Bessent might lobby to cease production completely. It could be worse. Look at the roller coaster ride the value of gold coins has been on recently as the strength of the U.S. dollar has ebbed and flowed on world markets. Once again, will there be a change to our change? And that's really, I think, what everybody needs to really think about here, okay? Will there be change in our change? But not just in our change, but in the markets. I think that's something really everybody needs to consider right now because we are in a change. We're in a time of disruption. And during a time of disruption, you really need to have your ear to the ground and pay attention on a day-to-day basis. You can't just put it in autopilot, I would think. Now, let's jump over here to the +1 action. I got some good ones for you today. This is Proverb 9, 7, and 8. This is really good. This is so important to think about because there's a lot of them out there, right? So this is 7, right? But one who chastises the scoffer acquires shame for himself, and he who rebukes the wicked acquires a blemish. I don't want a blemish. I don't want shame. Do not rebuke a scoffer, lest he hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. You know, the other day, one of the possibilities said, dude, you forgot to mention the Florida Innovation Dollar drop. And did I hate him? No. I respected him because he called me out. He didn't own me or anything, but he said, hey. And I was like, you know what? I respect that. Thank you very much. Now, what I think all this means is, while it's proper to teach the unschooled, teaching the wicked and those who ridicule those who follow the Lord is worse than futile. It's a waste of time. Not going to do it. Now let's bounce over here to 39's Fine, 99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is ELO, Evil Woman, 1975 classic rock Purrfection version from DJ Disco Cat. I don't know about you guys. I love disco. And I love feel-good music, you know, and I love dancing. Who doesn't love to dance, right? And that's okay if you don't know how to dance. You can go in your own house and start dancing. Just move your arms, right? Just move around. Keep you going. Keeps you staying alive. Love that song. See? Now, with that said, I want to thank you all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, sub the channel. It's absolutely free. Now, what's not free? It's a membership. It's only $1 billion a month. No, I'm kidding. It's $1.99. It's the price of a cheap cup of coffee someplace. Now, if you're a senior, you might get a senior discount. You might even get a senior coffee for free. Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I'm telling you, isn't that amazing? That's pretty cool. I'll have light and sweet, please. Now, like I said, membership is $1.99. You get some awesome videos. And I actually will probably go live this morning as well. Yeah, we're probably going to go live and talk about coins again. Maybe some food. Anyway, y'all have a great day if I don't see you in the live stream. Stacker out.